Google Drive takes on Dropbox, Android ice cream sandwich tips, and why subsidized 3G, 4G tablets suck, this week on SpoonFed Mobile. Watch out, Dropbox. Google has announced its own cloud storage competitor in Google Drive. You get 5 gigabytes for free versus just 2 gigabytes for Dropbox, and you can get 100 gigs for just $5 a month. But it's the special features that really make Google Drive stand out versus the competition. You can collaborate on the fly with colleagues using Google Docs, so you can edit documents together at one time. And you can share files seamlessly using Gmail. An application for Android is out now, and iOS is coming out soon. Stay tuned for a full review at LAPTOPmag. 35 million iPhones sold, nearly 12 million iPads, and 39 billion in overall sales. It was a blowout second quarter for Apple, but the most intriguing thing for me during the conference call with analysts was when CEO Tim Cook turned his attention to Windows 8. When asked about hybrid designs that combine tablets and laptops, he likened the combination to putting together refrigerators and toasters. I, for one, am pretty intrigued to see what Microsoft does with Windows 8 because it's really optimized for touch, and having a keyboard is a nice bonus. One thing is for sure, though, you're not going to see a combination MacBook Air and iPad in your near-term or long-term future. Does the world really need an e-reader that glows in the dark? This week we took a look at the Nook Simple Touch with Glow Light, which has a built-in backlight that allows you to read your favorite books without disturbing your partner in bed. You know, on the surface it doesn't sound like a great deal. For $60 more you can get the Kindle Fire, which has a color screen and access to all sorts of apps. But there's a lot of people who just want to read. Check out our full review on LAPTOPmag.com and decide for yourself.
Tips, tricks, fixes.
A lot of people have been clamoring for Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich to come to their smartphone, and now it finally is. Some devices are getting upgraded, and there's a lot of new phones coming to market with the software built in. But was it worth the wait? Yes. From unlocking your phone with your face to improved multitasking, these are some of our top features of ice cream sandwich and how to use it. For as long as I can remember, we've been telling all of our readers to make sure that they have some sort of task switcher application on their Android phones. But with Android 4.0, that's no longer necessary because the OS has a task switcher button built in. So if you want to go from one app to the next, you just press this button on the bottom of the screen, and you can scroll through to see which applications are open. So you can jump into one and jump back out. But the coolest thing is the ability to dismiss applications by swiping them off the screen. Just like that. So it's a great way to manage resources. On another Android 4.0 phone like the HTC One S, it uses a special skin from HTC called Sense 4.0. And what you can do with that, it has a similar button, but the UI is slightly different. So you still have the same button down here for switching tasks, but it's arranged vertically, but it works in a similar way. So if you want to get something off the screen, you just swipe it up. And if you want to open an application, you just tap to open, and it's very easy to use. So let's say you're in the middle of a meeting or you're in the car and you shouldn't be talking on the phone. With Android 4.0, you can dismiss calls with a text message. So for example, if we call from this iPhone 4S to this Galaxy Nexus, you'll see that when the incoming call arrives, you'll have a couple of options. So at first you think you can just swipe to dismiss the call, but if you swipe up, you'll have a couple of options. Custom message, I'll call you later, I'll call you right back. So let's try this one. So you tap it, and it automatically sends that text message to the other phone. And within a couple of seconds, it arrives. Here you go. I'll call you later. So it's pretty convenient. Okay, so it's not Siri, but one of the features that we love about Ice Cream Sandwich is the new voice input engine, and it provides an open microphone for any application that uses a keyboard. So for example, if you wanted to respond to an email, all you have to do is go down here, press this button, and talk about how good the voice recognition is on Android Ice Cream Sandwich. The recognition should be following my voice as I speak, and then when I'm done, I will be able to correct any words pretty easily. Well, and in this case, there's not much for me that I have to correct, but if you want to, it highlights words that may be misspelled, and you can easily click on any one of them and then just make the corrections that you want to make. Between the dedicated apps menu and the multiple home screens that Android has, there's a lot of people who are a little bit confused with the interface of Android, especially if you're coming from iOS. But there is an iOS-like feature now available that you can use, and it's a great way to organize your applications. So with the new folders feature, all you have to do is click an application that you want to combine with another, you drag it right on top of that other app, and it automatically creates a folder. In this case, we combined the Slacker application with the Play Music app. And it starts out as unnamed, but all you have to do is just tap there and rename it yourself. Click enter, and you're done. And all you have to do is just tap away to see it collapse, and tap on it again to expand, and you can drag any other applications that are related right onto this, and it's a great way to keep organized. Now that 4G networks are starting to proliferate, the carriers are starting to clamp down when it comes to using too much data per month. In the case of someone like T-Mobile, you might have your speeds throttled, or in the case of AT&T or Verizon, you might pay as much as $10 per gigabyte if you go over. So the good news with Android 4.0 is that it provides a built-in feature that allows you to keep a closer eye on those bits and bytes. So if you go under usage here, under settings, you'll see that you have these data meters that you can drag up and down. So let's say you have a limit of 2 gigabytes per month, so you can drag that up there. And then you can set the warning meter a little bit higher or lower and get messages as you get close to your limit. So that way you won't have to sacrifice any speeds or get hit in your wallet. So it's a really practical feature of Ice Cream Sandwich. Say you walk into your local Best Buy and you see a $99 tablet staring at you from the shelf. Sounds like a steal, right? Wrong. A great example is the ZTE Optic that we just reviewed from Sprint. On paper, it looks like a great deal. For 99 bucks, you're getting a lot of features that the Kindle Fire lacks, including a camera on the back, as well as a micro SD card slot, and it's actually a pretty good design. The real problem is what you're going to be paying over the long haul. If you sign up for a data plan for a device like this, you're looking at a minimum of $20 per month, and that's just for 1 gigabyte. And if you add it up, you're going to be paying $579 over 2 years. That's more than a new iPad and a ton of games, as well as 2 Kindle Fires. I'm not saying that data should be free, but 3G, 4G tablets aren't going to be a good deal until you can use that one data fee to cover multiple devices that you might have. Until that day comes, you're better off buying a mobile hotspot or using the hotspot feature inside your smartphone.